The trombone, as popularized by the Blue Man Group, is a novelty instrument that is half drum and half trombone. They require 3 people to operate, but I only had one grandson this morning to help me, so I put part of it on a frame to make up the difference. They can be built for as little as $30 and in just an hour. Here's how. Trombones are made out of PVC plastic tubing, which you can get from any hardware store. You'll need 2 pieces of 3-inch diameter tubing, which are 2.5 feet long, and 2 pieces of 4-inch diameter tubing, which are also 2.5 feet long. Now the dimensions don't really matter that much. You can use shorter pieces, longer pieces, depending on what you can find. You'll also need 2 90-degree 3-inch elbows, 1 4-inch to 3-inch adapter, and 1 piece of PVC that the 3-inch diameter that is 3 inches long to connect these 2 pieces. You'll also need a 2-foot long piece of the 3-inch PVC. This forms the drum head, or what some people call the drum reed for the trombone. You'll need to cut out a half section, which is typically 11 inches long, but it can be longer as it is in this case, and it doesn't really matter. In the trombone used by the Blue Man Group, they used 3 of these elbows to accomplish this turn, to give it sort of a attractive retro steampunk sort of look. But this piece will run you $12 to $15 depending on how much the fittings cost, and you can do without it. This works just fine. One thing this does though is lowers the tone of the drum, makes it sound a little bit lower. Slip all the pieces together, and here's what it looks like. Now in operation, this piece is actually vertical. It goes up and down like this. The way I hold the pieces together is with 2-inch masking tape. Now I know you could use PVC pipe cement to put these together and it'd actually be a little bit stronger, but this works really good and has the added advantage that you can take it apart if you want to change the configuration, add some extra elbows to make it look more interesting, or more pieces to change the tone of the drum. If you try playing a trombone by hitting the hard PVC wall of the drum head tube, you're not going to get much sound out. And the reason is this is so hard that it doesn't flex down enough to create air that can resonate in the tubing. So, as I said earlier, what you need to do is cut a section out, and I usually use 11 inches, but that's not too critical. And then you wrap a material over this, which is stiff enough to rebound properly so you can play the drum, but also soft enough so that when it's struck, it compresses down enough to create some air movement. Now I tried many different materials to use for this. And here, these are just a few. 1/4-inch rubber, 1/8-inch rubber, poster board, which remarkably works the best, produces the best quality sound and the loudest sound. The problem is you can only play on it for about 10 minutes before it disintegrates. Then I found some foam placemat material that you use like on coffee tables, and this worked okay, but it created too much of a dull tone. But it was going in the right direction. It sort of makes sense because it's stiff like the poster board, but more durable. So I got to thinking about using other placemats, and here's just a few that I tried. These are the hard plastic thin type, which are about the same thickness as the poster board, and these work really good. But I found one that worked the best, and that was this one. It is just slightly thicker, and if you snap the corner of it, it's kind of a low snap. It doesn't spring back quite as sharply as, say, this one does. So I found that this works the best. It produces the loudest noise and the mellowest tone. So what I did is I cut a piece and formed it over this. And if you look at the Blue Man videos of them playing the trombone, what they do is they use rivets or screws to attach the drum head. What I found though is it works better just to use masking tape. Make this a little bit bigger so you have an overhang, and use masking tape to attach it. This created a more mellow sound to the drum, and also allowed me to experiment by using different materials if I got tired of this or it got damaged. The trombone sounds a lot richer, mellower, and louder in person than my microphone is picking up in this video. Trombones are easy to build and a lot of fun to play. So much so that I'm already working on a follow-up video, which will, among other things, show how to mount it on a frame so that only one person is required to play it. Until that video gets published, I hope you'll take the time to stop over at my main website at waynesthisthandthat.com, where you'll find hundreds of pages covering almost as many subjects. As always, thank you for watching.